like animals. You see, like every animal like have a certain rhythm, like the seasons and things like that. We don't have a rhythm. We party when we want to. We do everything we want to. Like
imagine if the power shut off for a month.
Yeah.
A month. Imagine how the streets would be like.
Yeah. I think. I don't know.
What do you think? Like after like 2 weeks. What do you think?
I think after 3 days we'll start seeing chaos. I'm serious. I think after 3 days
And
because
there's no one to televise it.
because a lot of people they'll use their phone first and it'll go fast because they'll think I'm gonna get this shit. The lights is gonna come on. It always comes back on. So they'll use it, or they wait until it's like 10%. And they're like, "Oh shit, it's been day 3 and this shit ain't coming on. I'm going crazy," and it's done. I don't really like electric cars though. I really don't.
You don't fuck with the Tesla truck.
Yeah,
right?
I do like that truck.
You do like that truck?
I would if I
thank you, bro.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what's funny? A lot of people keep telling me I fuck with it too. Like a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, it's ugly, it's ugly."
Nah, that shit looks
I think
sick.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It looks futuristic.
Yeah.
It's different.
You know, like human beings, we don't die once. That's when we go in the grave. There's certain time in our life when we die because we let certain things rule us. And we know what it is and we allow it to still control us. That's death.
Right.
But then there's the last death when you go into the earth. But as a human race, if we do that,
ago, it's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah, we got Aubrey King in the crib. What's going
pleasure,
on,
my
guys?
brother.
Everything good?
Definitely.
Yes,
Good.
man.
Been a while, man. Get to
Yeah,
see you again.
How was
You know what I mean?
How was your journey here?
What do you mean? Like just today?
Yeah, just come over here.
It was good. It was smooth. You know what I mean? Had some hiccups. I took a while before I left, but I'm glad I'm here, man.
It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to meet you. We
Yeah,
chat,
no,
take
I
a
know.
walk.
But you, like, I gotta, I'm such,
Yeah.
now especially, my schedule's been crazy, bro. And I feel like people think that I'm joking when I say that I'm always busy.
Mm-hmm.
But every day, I got shit that I need to do. If not, I might be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? And then also on top of that, I want to keep everything going.
I feel.
But how you been, bro? Like, what's new with you?
I'm good, man. I kind of miss you, working with you and stuff like that. I know you're a fun dude. You're a cool dude. You're straight up.
Yeah.
You know, those are the qualities. You know, like when we was at work in the office, there's some people I don't even like take the time out to like really stand up and have a quick conversation. You know what I mean? Some people they're like, you always had that good energy. So when we meet,
Always.
what's up? You know what I mean? And we having a good day. We make it. We used to have competitiveness, fun. You know what I mean? Like you have that quality.
Yeah.
But what's new with you?
I appreciate you, bro. And like, I want to dive into more because I know you're from Guyana, right?
Yep.
And you grew up more of like agriculturally, right? Inclined and understanding more of a different type of society, different type of lifestyle.
Definitely.
So can you explain to the viewers, people watching, like how is it for you growing up as a kid, and then coming to a place like America?
That's a very good question. Well, in Guyana, we believe in like just adults is always right. A random adult could meet you on the streets coming home from school because you're a rude kid. They could whip your ass and bring you home, and then your parents whip you again. It's like a community raised you. I didn't realize the value of it until it go away because like the kids in Guyana now, they don't have that same upbringing. You know what I mean? We had community things that we do. We played cricket together. You could have a fight with a kid today and tomorrow you guys are best friends again. It's not like kids now. And we had to wake up a certain time. We had to, if you have farming, we had a lot of ducks, chickens, we had some sheeps and things like that, but you had to take care of those things. You had to let them out, clean their pens, let them back in. And that was like a regular job.
Right.
Yeah. And we had fun. We looked at it like it was like just what we do, And we didn't realize we're learning so much about ourselves and everybody around us.
I feel like people, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like people that grow up in the farm, they got a different type of strength.
Definitely.
They got a different type of strength.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, just stronger people. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Like, does that come because of a lot of just the labor, a lot of working the land?
Definitely.
To be constantly in movement.
Definitely.
Right.
I don't think you have a day off really with that, because these animals, they depend on you. Their livestock and their livelihood. They provide a certain type of income, because my family would sell them. We had ducks and chickens was our main thing, and we used to have to, you have to let them out clean, pick up eggs, let them back in, things like that. And it was just like something that you do, and I think that's what makes us strong. We had to be strong. You have to get up a certain time. You have to move, feed, and things like that for these animals. Yeah, I miss that life though.
Would you go back to it?
Absolutely. I think like now, I think the world needed more, because we in this like artificial type of world, and we're moving towards that where everything is artificial. People don't even trust human beings anymore. So I think like just people that manage and handle your food on a regular basis in any aspect, I think they should be even more respected. I know there's companies now that they're going away from like that natural farmers and stuff like that. And they want to have like their machines or mechanic things where they like keep a chicken or a duck in a cage, and I don't like that, because when we used to let our chickens and ducks out, our ducks and chickens used to roam free.
Right.
Yeah, they used to eat bugs, and we also had a certain backup feed, because we know like they're not gonna go out there and get everything that they need. So we had backup food that we would give them, but it wasn't that much. I don't think that they have that anymore. It's more like a mass production of it.
Because there's so many people.
Yeah, yeah. That too. Just thought about that. I was just thinking about that.
You go to. I remember going to Europe, bro. Like in Italy, all their portions are small. They're very small.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like but they'll eat a lot, right? But all their portions are small.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, they don't waste here. Even with their gas, they don't go by gallon. They go by liters.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like we're very wasteful here.
Yeah, we are. I think it's just because they know that there's so many. There's the spiritual health. There's your health. There's your spiritual health, and then there's your body health, and then that your body have a spiritual health also. Mm-hmm. Everything is about this. Like it's like two parts to it. There's the physical and the spiritual of everything, and I think like they know how to cater to one more than the other, and they know like if they break you down in a certain way, you're gonna be dependent on a certain system.
Well, they can't. They probably don't want to even tap into the spiritual.
No.
That would enlighten.
Definitely. I think the reason why a lot of people. I was having this conversation this morning. A lot of people, they actually think vegetable is the best thing for us. You know what I mean? And there's people that's convincing us that vegetables is the most important. Even I used to believe that, but I didn't know like meat is actually more important. Meat makes, like if you give a young child an egg, just one egg a day, it increases their intelligence.
Where'd you get that information?
Doctors have already tested this in so many countries. Crazy. I was one of those kids that believe in one of those guys that believe in vegetables. But actually, no.
All these things are good, right?
Yeah.
Like vitamins, eating right, fish, I think for sure. Because look at an ape, right? A gorilla.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't eat meat. They're huge.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think there's different dynamics of people, right? Mm-hmm. And once you find the remedy that works for you, go and go ham.
That's true. That's
or
true.
Go green, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think but I know a lot of plant-based things for us as human beings. A gorilla, I understand. A gorilla and a human being is different, but we need mostly meat to eat. Pause. You know what I mean? but we need that to survive. You know what I mean? Like a cow, God made us a certain way. I know a lot of people's going to argue, but there's no evidence of any civilization, no one that just survived on vegetables.
Right.
There's none. These people are, you have to be warriors, you have to fight. We just feel it. We're comfortable now being vegetarians, and we could choose. We could be, was it pescatarian, whatever we could be. Because we have a choice. Because there's people that used to eat a lot of meat and had to fight and do shit. Now we have that choice because we live a fluff life compared to those people.
Well, before we knew what we were.
Yeah.
Right? In the times
Yeah.
ago that was like caveman and people were just like, I'm here. I'm just alive, surviving, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And they got hungry. What did they get hungry for?
Yeah.
These animals.
Yeah.
Because I guess they're also looking at their reality around them.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we're from here though?
This planet?
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, I think like this is where they loose us out and see how we interact.
You say you don't think so because we don't coincide with the earth? But we once did.
Yeah, but I don't think like we have this like animals. You see like every animal like have a certain rhythm, like the seasons and things like that. We don't have a rhythm. We party when we want to. We do everything we want to. Like, you know, when I told people on April 1st, it was the beginning of the year, they looked at me like I'm weird. I told them, even use it in your mind. Which God would start the new year on a cold ass night? You know what I mean? On a certain time of the year that's like so odd. Like what God would?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Now April 1st, the sun changed, the plants start to change, the sun, everything looks like it's the beginning of something. I mean, just common sense with that.
But they made it April Fool's Day.
But that's the reason they know that they fooled us. But that's why they call it April Fool. You know, there's 28 days in a month. If you divide 365 times 13, it's 28. 28 days in each month, 13 months. And if you even look at a woman's like her menstrual, it's after every 28 days. She actually have 13 menstrual every year. But one is a little bit off because of the way they separate the month.
So what you're trying to say is that we look at time incorrectly. How do you feel about the Terrence Howard interview? Did you see it?
Very interesting. I'd be lying if I say I know too much about that subject. I could more listen and learn. Right. I really don't know much about it.
Sounds convincing.
Yeah. He sounds like an intelligent guy, but the one thing I must say, as simple as it sounds, he said 1 + 1 equals how much?
2.
And that's actually correct, but believe it or not, one time one, people usually put 1. But if you think about it, I was looking at it like, yo, my mom and dad, 1 and 1, made me, so I'm actually a product of them. So it can't be just like 0 right now because it's 3. If 1 + 1, you know what I mean? They did produce me, so it have a value.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's right when it comes to that. That makes sense. But certain things that he talk about, I'm just like, let me just listen. Just the what is it, periodic table? He said it's a little bit different. It makes sense because all of us, even this table is made out of atoms. All of us is like there's a certain rhythm to us. You know, this thing is made of something. Everything is made out of something that make up a certain space. So, but it's all connected in a certain way.
Right.
We're all like a chemical makeup. So I could understand why you say the periodic table should be a little bit more of a spiral type shape because it's all connected, but certain parts of this connection is off and the way it is. But
and he also said something about frequencies.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And notes, he said the frequency, like he said something about the note E. Something like that?
I believe, yeah. I watched the podcast with him and Joe Rogan. It was very, very interesting. I like Joe Rogan, you know?
Yeah, super interesting. All right, dope. And also, I also kind of just feel like the way we look at shit is always going to change.
Of course.
So I'm not super like, oh my God, this is the way, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of give it time and space because you have to really give it time to see what's real and what's not.
That's why I said I'm just going to sit back and learn.
Right.
And if it's something that makes sense. Because we have, do you know, like the same amount of, I believe, chemicals or stars in the universe that we're talking about, like we have in our body, in our cells. Our cells is much more powerful. We even radiate, our heartbeat radiate a certain frequency that create an energy field. That's why, you know, if someone is staring at you, you could sense it because that field sends out and there's something within what that person is doing, their field, and it connect. And you're like, oh shit, you're looking at me, and you're wondering why. And if someone is behind you, after a while you turn around, you're like, how did I know that? But it's that sense.
That is a weird thing, right? Or
Yeah.
you're just walking down the street and you just happen to just like glance at someone at that split second. It's like, why? Why does that happen?
It's our energy field. We walk around. That's why, a lot of things that blocks our energy field, they take away, like bells. Every bell in the world like have a crack now. They don't use bells anymore. Bells used to like kind of like take away, it used to help us with certain frequency in our bodies. That's why people that work with bees, they're like super healthy because of that frequency that the bee gives off with their wings.
Oh,
Yeah, believe it or not, they said people that work around bees live the longest.
Whoa. That's
Yeah, just because of that frequency. And everything that makes us stronger, somehow, some way, there's something on this planet that takes it away from us or try to change it. And I think it's like maybe the devil, like technology is the devil.
You think so?
I think so. I think technology is the devil because technology makes us not think, make us not be creative. When we want something, I'm guilty of it, I Google it.
Yeah, but this is technology too.
Yeah.
This is creative. I feel like this is giving me a space to learn from individuals from different walks of life. I think it's a matter of how we use it.
It's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance
Yin
because
and yang. It's always a yin and yang to everything, right? And
yeah.
It's good and bad. A lot of things that we looked at that was bad before is good now, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What do you think of the off subject? I know we're supposed to be. What do you think of the rap beef, if you don't mind?
Well, wait, Drake and Kendrick?
Yeah.
That's it. It's over, bro. Kendrick won. That's it. It's clipped. You know what I mean?
But what do you like? You think Drake have a chance to come back?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like, he came back with a song, but it was kind of like whack.
He did? I don't know.
What was it called? Wagwan Delilah.
Really?
But he was featured on it, and then I guess he's coming back in features.
Okay.
Because he's like featuring on like different people's shit, which is cool.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, he didn't stop, which I think is dope. You know what I mean? Because the motherfucker's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. He definitely lost that shit though.
Oh yeah. That's the second one that he lost.
There's one thing that I heard that he was trying to get people from stop playing Not Like Us in Canada.
Yeah.
I heard. I think that's kind of corny.
Yeah.
Because like you gotta, if you're gonna take the L, you gotta take the L. And like, there's one thing that another person said that I heard was interesting. Is like, he's kind of trying to just act like it didn't happen, or like it's just. I think it's more honorable to like be upfront with the situation and just,
I agree.
Like, say it for what it is. But I also do feel like Kendrick was automatically gonna win.
No, you say so if you don't mind.
Because everything's kind of like left and right. Like, Kendrick's more black. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah. And then it's like, and also his upbringing too, right? He's from Compton. He had a rough upbringing.
Yeah.
Drake is from Canada. Not to say that Canada might not be rough. It probably is rough. You know what I mean? But like, he had a different upbringing, right? He was in Degrassi, and who knows? People probably think that he probably had it easy, but who knows if it was probably difficult for him too in his own way.
I
know
agree.
What I mean?
Yeah.
But people always talking shit, bro. At the end of the day, that's why it's just like, yo, motherfuckers always gonna talk shit. I think there's like, me personally, like, if I was in a rap beef against Kendrick Lamar, I would go at him completely different.
What would you mean? Like how, if you don't mind?
I'm not ever saying it on like anything. I would have a different approach though. Okay. And it would be a deeper conversation and would cut so much bullshit. And I want to see if he's really like gangster. You know what I mean? Like,
oh shit.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to see if he's really like, you know what I mean? Like, true. You know what I'm saying? To the human spirit, not just his people. You know what I mean? Like, I want to, like, that's where I'm coming at. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave it like that.
I feel you.
You know?
I feel you. I haven't listened to I'd be lying if I say I haven't listened to Drake in a while. One of the reasons I stopped listening to him because I always felt like he would go with different artists and like kind of like mimic that style, and for some reason that artist,
it was never his own, right?
And that artist would disappear all of a sudden. Like, we'd see him and then that artist would be gone, and it made me like question about him.
Right.
And I didn't like that. That shit like makes me like it pisses me off. Like when people kind of like be like a vulture to something that's been around before them, and it made me stop listening to him. With all honesty, I haven't listened to since 2014. The last album we had, that You Fancy, huh? That was like the whatever song that was. That was like the last album I listened to for him. You know what I mean? And I always would give anyone a chance,
Credit.
but and credit. But I felt like, and yeah, he's a big artist and whatever. But I felt like he was taking something away from it. Like he just bouncing from these guys.
I think he has a nice voice.
Yeah,
That's
very
it. Like,
very talented voice.
Honestly, I think that's it. Like, all right, there's some people that can make a song sound better, even if like the original person wrote it.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
And that's why they're songwriters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's Drake.
And like, so there's this artist that I know, Mick Jenkins, fucking underground, but like type low key popping. Like if you know, you know, he's a dope artist, and he has this song called "On the Map," and I'm listening to this song. I'm like, oh shit, on the map. I'm like, this song is so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like this shit. Didn't find out until like a year later. It's not even his song. Like, but I didn't do enough research. He even shouts it out. It's like a, I guess like a. He just sung it, but it's somebody else's song, and it was already out. You know?
Oh, I see.
He made it sound better.
Yeah.
He made it sound swaggy. You know what I mean? It just sounded better. I knew of the song because I listened to his song first. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So like, for me, you know, people can get tight, but at the end of the day, we like to hear a specific type of like cadence, a specific type of rhythm,
It's true.
a specific type of sound. Not all my songs people like. Some of my songs people like more than others, and then I have some songs that a lot of people like a lot of different people like. But I'm not paying attention to that because I'm an artist. I'm a true artist.
That makes sense.
I'm not trying to do it for the likes and no. I'm doing it based on my experience in my life. You know, people could look at it later in life and be like, oh, talk shit, whatever the fuck they want to feel about it. But I'm not gonna be that way because for me, I want to be true. I want to be true to who I am, true to who I am in this time that I'm living. I'm not trying to be like, oh, let me present my way like this in order so people will like me in a certain way. Fuck that.
That's true.
Like,
That's a good way to live. Very good. I like that.
Yeah, it's gotta be that way, man. Yo, I want to know more about you though, bro. Like when you came into America, right? Like, what age? How old are you?
I came here when I was 12, about to be 13 that year. Like and I had a lot of shock in you know what I mean? Like it a lot of things shocked me with America. Like the way we like treat adults, the way we treat teachers. I used to think the word like jumping, when somebody say, "Well, jump you," I thought it was something homosexual. I thought it was like, yo, if you get jumped, like they jump on your back and they rape you type of thing. I was a kid, I didn't know. I thought like, because I didn't know about no jumping, or when you have a fight, you have a one-on-one fight, where I grew up in Guyana, sometimes your uncles, your cousins, they'd be like, yo, y'all hate each other, fight, you have a fight, and you go the separate way, or you make up friends. Most of the times, I've never known anybody that had a fight with someone that didn't become their friend in Guyana. Like, that's just how it is. So when they
respect you more. Like.
Yeah, they're like, you at least fight. Whether you win, lose, the adults never let it go to that far where that person's like pummeling that person, putting them in a coma or a wheelchair.
You won, you lost, you take that, you go, move on.
And you go.
Yeah.
And that's it. Guns, you didn't even think about guns. You're like, the police and soldiers have guns and bad boys. You know what I mean? You never think about I was very shy, very nervous because I had a deep accent. I didn't know how people view me. Like we look at Mickey Mouse Club in Guyana, the Disney Channel when I was growing up, and we looked at American kids as, damn, they're super smart.
Little do you know, you guys are even smarter, right?
Yeah, think about it though. Those kids in a half an hour show, they cause a problem with their parents or something like that. They destroy a car or something, and in half an hour, they fix it. So we looked at it, and trust me, that's why a lot of people outside the United States view us American as really smart. And I used to be like, oh man, these kids, how can you compete with these kids? Not know like television really programs people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because where I'm from, not everybody had a TV. So we would go to people's shop. We had a TV at our shop if they had like a boxing match or any, even the news. We watch American news, not even our own news.
And people all come through like, yo, what's happening right now?
And we watch T.J. Hooker, Adam's Family, Hawaii Five-0, Night Rider. I'm not sure if you know those shows.
What was your favorite comedian at that time?
Favorite comedian would probably be like maybe Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor was before my time, I should say. But when I was growing up, Richard Pryor had movies, and we would always watch him. But I know Eddie Murphy is my favorite. I believe Eddie Murphy is the GOAT of all comedian.
Axel Foley.
Absolutely. I believe Eddie Murphy is the GOAT because if you look at all the comedians, like success is how many people you've made successful, and those people teach other people. It's like a tree. And
yes.
Chris Rock.
Yes, I love that you said that, bro. Yes, it is. Because people that just think that, or people that are just out for themselves, and that's it, it leads to a very lonely, whack place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like look at somebody like Jay-Z. Like right now I heard he just opened up a school just because he's trying to keep that image. You know what I mean? Because I think he was a more like a focus on himself. Not that I'm dissing him or whatever like that. His circumstance make him focus on life and money the way he do for himself. You know? So I'm not blaming him or anything, but like
I think it's a catch-22 situation because like you can't like get to the place where he is without
breaking some eggs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But where was I? I was talking about like success and stuff. Yeah. I don't think you have to be able to help other people, and that's even the reason that we got into. I got into the job I'm in. I wanted to be able to help people, and it's something I look at it like I'm able to fix this part of me that I enjoy watching people do something, and myself, and I'm able to try to make money.
Right, and also, if people are inclined to actually listen and really find out, they would find it's more contributive to their own family and their own pockets than any other fucking thing. But that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
But like, when you start growing up, young man, New York City, young Guyanese man in New York City, how was the dating scene for you?
With all honesty, I'd be lying. I never really had a problem with getting girls because I had a lot of sisters.
Okay.
And their friends always like me and things like that. Yeah, and that was cool. I was kind of known. The friends that I grew up with, one of my boy that I'm best friends with, Angelo. I have 3 best friends: Angelo, Dwayne, and Jensen.
And that's another reason why you have good energy, bro. I feel like tell me that the dudes that get no play, they have this whack, low frequency energy. And I feel like it has nothing to do with looks. It has to do with energy, spirit, and the way you come into a certain situation that can get guys to be speaking to certain girls.
Of course. I mean, I was shy even when I was growing up and things like that because I've always had girls that like me. But like me on my own, like as I got older, when I had to talk to girls and stuff like that, I was shy too. And then I realized, like, you know what I mean? Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm probably never gonna see that girl again if I say so, and if I do, like, so what? Right. And it's just like if you're gonna talk to somebody or anything just do it. Right. You'll find out the end anyway. You know.
Absolutely. And it's all about the moment.
Yeah.
It's all about the moment. Because how you create that moment is everything.
Very much.
You gotta be like a wizard.
Yeah. And I mean, the number one thing is like you can't try to please anyone. You just gotta go in there with the idea like if I'm coming to talk to you, you're getting to know me, I'm getting to know you.
Right.
It's not like you're this God. You know, people tend to like glorify human beings too much.
Yeah.
Like that's why I don't deal with celebrities. I don't
Yeah.
like celebrities.
So I had someone here like a couple of weeks ago. He was talking about he's from Tobago, and he was talking about like celebrities where I'm from. Are like you just see him in the supermarket, like, hey yo,
Yeah.
like your name, like what's his name, you know, and then they'd be like, hey, what's up, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not this overhyped thing.
It's too It's too. That's why people. That's why I'm like even like.
And I like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, people are people, yo. Like let like that natural aspect of society that brings people together be genuine. Because like that whole egotistical like separation, you're here, I'm down here. What does that do for you at the end of the day?
A truly wealthy man.
You die on your mountaintop.
Absolutely, I agree. A truly wealthy man is a man that could that could walk anywhere with his family, and he don't have to worry, but he get all respect.
Yeah.
You know, most of those celebrities they can't because it's not people with their music or whatever movies or whatever people internalize like these people are really like this. Like The Rock, he could grab an airplane or whatever like that and pull it. Yeah. I mean a helicopter, whatever, and these people like flying out of so people have these ideas of like Brad Pitt and people I love, like some of the movies I love them, you know what I mean? But I know the difference. A lot of when we were growing up, you know, you ever hear people that are like, oh, that cartoon or that video game or something makes somebody do that? I think that's the stupidest thing. Violent movies and whatever like that make people do so. I think you have a choice.
Thank you.
You should know the difference. You should know the difference between
All
reality and
You know, like, I've always said that shit.
I would never blame a rapper for making people act. It's within you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't become something that's not already there.
Yeah.
And I think people just always look for somebody else to blame. It's within yourself.
They do. Yeah. I think it comes, and I wrote this on my story, literally. Hold on, let me check real quick. I want to read it to you verbatim. So I wrote, accepting things for what they are in the exterior is necessary for peace, in my opinion. The interior you should change as you see fit for your growth.
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I fucked a little bit by saying it.
But let me see if I get that. I'm gonna try to interpret it the way I got it. Right. So even if whatever is going on outside, let's say it's raining, you have a choice to either stay inside, stay away from the rain, or when you do, open up an umbrella. But in your heart, you're making that choice. If you fight the rain, you're gonna lose. You don't fight the exterior. You build what's inside. Figure out how you have to react, and you have to change and from the inside.
Everything else is. Sometimes I feel like society and technology and how we have to live life is like a wave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can swim in different directions, but you're still in that motion of where it's going. And that's out of your control.
Yeah, I don't think nothing is by accident. I think we are on purpose. Like all of us. As crazy as it sounds.
It's not even crazy.
Even though like they're saying that those are millions of sperm. That and you're that one. I think like you are meant to occupy this space. You know what I mean? I think it's just something that it's God just showing us certain things that we have to. It's an experience. I believe we're all gonna have the experience of being a rock star, of being a producer, being a sports star. I believe it's all one.
You ever heard the story "The Egg" by Andy Weir? This fucking dog is annoying and shit. The Egg by Andy Weir. He's like, fuck your podcast.
But yeah, we're all connected, man.
I want to show you this story because it's in relation to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, you were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident, nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What? What happened? You asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter of factly. No point in menacing words. There was a truck and it was skidding? Yep. I said, I died? Yep. But don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness. Just you and me. What is this place, you asked? Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God, you asked? Yep, I replied, I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said? What about them? Will they be alright? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I looked like some man or possibly a woman. Some vague authority figure, maybe. More of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside but will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said, so the Hindus were right. So all religions in their own way, I said. No, he said. All religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So what's the point then, you ask? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby? So all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter? Not so, I said. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and I took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you could possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into a vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been in a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start to remember everything. But there's no point of doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots, and lots, and lots, and in lots of different lives, I said. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where you come from, you said? Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know you want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time, and with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know what's happening. So what's the point of it all? Seriously, I asked? Seriously, you're asking me for the meaning of life? Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe, is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stare blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it. With a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human being who ever lived, or who will ever live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln, and you're John Wilkes Booth, too. I added. I'm Hitler, you said appalled, and you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus, and you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimized someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy moment and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will be experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why? You asked me. Why do all this? Because someday you will become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said. You mean I'm God? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So the whole universe, you said, is just an egg, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life, and I sent you on your way. Crazy, right?
That is
crazy.
That is a very I guess maybe what he's trying to say
And
is you have to you should be treating everyone like the way you love yourself.
Yeah.
Because you are, you know what I mean?
You're part of the embodiment of life itself.
Dang, wow.
Right?
That's an aspect.
It's so deep. It's so deep. Yo, so I got this part of the podcast, right, where I asked the individual that is here, hey, is there any question that you can give me that I could go out into the public, and I go ask that question.
I want them to imagine a world where I don't have a question. I have something for them, for everyone. Because like for me, one of my main reason for living is because there's a lot of people in life look at me a certain way. So they expect certain things from me. And I don't think it's as hard what people expect of you because or at least I came to the realization. I think it's fair they ask you because they see something in you and they want to challenge you, and they want to see you do that. You know what I mean? And sometimes they fight you because they feel as though you're not living who you are. And I think you just got to figure out a way how to embrace it, and you'll be much more successful because they're looking. It's not like they're saying like, "Yo, I see Axel as a killer." You know, whatever it is, most of the times people in your life, they want to see you successful. The people around you that truly love you. You know what I mean? So they're going to critique you with all honesty. What I would like for you to ask everyone is, I want them to always meet someone with like a empty slate. You know what I mean? Imagine, forget about where we from. It don't matter. Just if you could imagine meeting someone with an empty slate. I know sometimes that other person might fuck it up and not do it, but you do it. You know what I mean? And if most people just meet each other on this empty slate, just have a conversation, I think we'd be better human beings. Because we tend to like look at television or look at everything and we judge people based on
the criteria of society.
What
they think.
Yeah. And if they could just meet each other on even plane.
A human plane.
Yeah.
So what's the question really?
It's more of a challenge.
No, not a challenge.
It has to be a question.
Yeah, you have to give me a question that I could take out into society, and then I ask that question to a random stranger or someone I know sometimes.
What do you think the Matrix is? That's it.
That's a good question.
So what do you think the Matrix is?
I think that question is too convoluted to answer because we'd be here all day. I would have to explain to you what you think it is. Then I would have to explain to you what folk believe it to be, what they want you to think it is, and then what it actually is. And that's not going to give you any clarification.
Thank you for your answer.
That's the only question.
What do you think it is?
I think it's a system that is directly meant to take us out of our human way of living. Because a computer could generate a seed, manipulate it. They figure out ways how to use it, and it changes it like, you know what I mean? Everything. And we're not even like connected anymore, and we just losing that. You know, sometimes I see people like I'm always like, hey, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. I'm always happy. I don't give a fuck about having time to be sad and shit like that.
Right.
Like I don't know when I'm ever gonna go. I'm like
Exactly.
I never know.
Yeah, man.
Why would I even spend my life on some stupid shit? So I like try to always give that out too.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, right? They'd rather just make it a shitty day, right?
And let it continue.
And we're all going through shit, right? Like everyone goes through shit, but you could change the dynamic of your day by just trying.
Yeah. That's all it is, man. But I want to know what they think. What is it? Like what they think it is.
What do you mean?
The Matrix, like this.
Oh,
what did they get it from? You know, I just think like we should. There's a lot of us, we live to our eyes to the back of the wall because we're looking for someone to tell us what to see, what to watch. Like I don't watch the news. I'm doing my best to stay away from like sports and shit like that.
You like sports?
I'm trying my best not to because win or lose, they don't be like, yo, let me cut you a check,
Right.
you know, or I think we just put too much emotions into it and we hate each other just because they also have a jersey of a team. Like that's weird to me.
That is weird.
Yeah, and even wearing
Tribalism.
yeah, and even wearing some dude's name at the back on my back. I'm like,
Also weird.
pause. That's
Yeah.
like weird. I don't know. It just make me cringe now. I just feel like a freaking weirdo rooting and putting so much emotions into it.
Right.
I feel weird about it.
It's the idolization.
Yeah. Every so often, if it's on, I'll like, oh shoot, that dude, you know what I mean? Anthony Edwards do a nice dunk or whatever like that. But I don't want to put too much emotions into it.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a wasteful, stupid thing.
Some people make money though.
Yeah. Oh, if you're making money off of it, yeah.
I know a guy that made $7,000 off of that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight.
That's good. Yeah. See, I don't mind that. If you're using it to make your money and that's how you're doing, whatever. But to put just your emotions into it.
Money on FanDuel, bro.
Yeah. I would love to learn, but I don't know.
The thing is that, like, all right, yeah, it's also what do you want to put your time into? Right?
That's true.
And you want to go for your Series 6, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be spending time working on what team is getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you wouldn't even have the time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing my best. I think, like, I like my life, and I wish this for everybody, like, just progress and don't give up. I think, like, I wish if I could talk to, like, the 20-year-old me. You know what I mean?
What would you say to him?
I would tell him, don't give a fuck about what anybody think. And just, you trust me, everywhere you go, you're the best, you know, whatever job or whatever you go on, you're usually the best.
Right.
Or you become the best. You always figure it out. Always get promoted, whatever. Don't overthink it. And I think I would have been much, you know what I mean? But I didn't. I think I used to be more doubtful of myself.
Of yourself. Yeah. Where did that come from? I feel you. I was the same.
Yeah. Just I think a shock from Guyana to here. I always felt like
you had to learn the culture and what's going on around you.
Yeah,
first, right?
I was more like, let me not disrespect it. I've always very respectful to the like American culture.
I definitely understand that. That's interesting that you say. Oh, that was your point, my bad, bro. That's interesting that you say that, man. Like, fucking, I try to think about that as well. Because when I came here, I had the same sentiment.
Yeah.
It's you want to understand what's going on first, and then you're like, all right, you know what? I don't put my 2 cents.
Yeah.
No, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, certain age, I'm like, I'm here now. I could say whatever, but it takes, you know. I have a lot of conversation with a lot of young men at the gym, and we just sometimes these guys talk, we work out. I usually don't like working out with anyone because I hate when people talk and joke and look at that girl, look at that. I'm like, my mind, if I'm on that, I'm not focused on my workout.
Exactly.
And when you work out, you got to be super selfish. No matter what anybody tell you,
that's a fact.
You're being selfish because you wanna.
That's that time.
Yeah, you want to be dead focused. And them dudes that come and they barely do something and they look at that girl, I'm out. So I usually tell them guys, yo, if you want to work out with me.
Right.
I'm gonna bust your ass with this shit. We gonna work hard. Pause. You know what I mean? But I have a few dudes that usually keep up with me. We have fun. We talk, and a lot of young men they be like lost, 20, 22-year-olds. So I'll be like, yo, if I could tell you, and through them, I'm giving myself advice when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, by telling them, you know, don't give up or anything like that. Just stay very focused, and don't set your standards to like, you know, it was like LaMelo Ball or something like that. A basketball player that could drive this and go anywhere and whatever like that. Don't look at them and judge who you are. Even if a woman if she thinks as those is the highest value, men, let her go because she don't understand like you're gonna be growing.
Right.
And when you reach a certain age, you get there.
Yeah, there's so many more in the sea, right? And it's also, I love that we say when you get to a certain age, there's certain moments in your life that you learn certain lessons. So it gets you prepared for those specific moments that you meet types of women that you're like, damn, I always wanted to speak to this caliber of woman. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's
absolutely.
Like, also, I'm like, okay, you know. But then that comes with time, right? That comes with understanding. That comes with patience. That comes with just getting to know self.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Once you know yourself, you know what type of woman you could talk to if
Mhm.
that's your thing. You know what I mean? And you have that confidence in you
Yeah.
because you know yourself. You know
Right.
who you are. You know what
Yeah.
you're capable of.
You come into situations with a smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You come into
absolutely.
Situations like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what's up? Like, hey.
Yeah, it's a certain yeah. I think like that's why like older men, you notice that they're able to speak a certain way. You know, like when I think once you
Older
reach.
men, yeah, don't give a fuck, and they're so smooth with it. Like I'm some like, you look great.
That's because they've been through life and they know like you know what I mean. That's what it takes. That's a win.
Yeah.
That'll win them over.
And it's also that's really what it is. I
Yeah.
feel like it's at the end of the day, it's the simplicity. It's the simplicity. It's the shit that you see in the movies.
Yeah,
It's the shit, you know, like.
Yeah.
But it's about making that moment. That's why I'm always very, very, very conscious of the moment. People don't think about the moment and the time that they're living in. Sometimes it's always like, oh, back in the day, it was much better. Like people used to live like this, and
Mhm.
like, and they would always say that, right? People always say that in every generation. You got people in the '80s probably saying like, oh, but the '70s, man. And then people in the '90s, oh, yo, but the '80s, yo. And then people in the like early 2000s, but the '90s, you know. And it's always, but it's like, yo, you gotta enjoy your moment. Cause look, time's gonna go by, and then the next generation is gonna say that you were the ones in that moment or whatever the fuck.
I know you love music because you're very talented.
Thank you.
I was really, really
Thank you,
shocked
bro.
when I heard your music.
Thank you.
And it made me like, remember I told you, what the hell are you doing working, bro? You should be making, because
Yo,
now,
I'm gonna show you some shit after this.
yeah.
And I can't wait to show you this.
Yeah. Nah, you're very
Thank you, bro.
talented.
Thank you.
I always send people to your videos, and I even like copy paste send your whole thing where it's like your podcast, your music, and you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
I like yo check this dude out.
Thank you.
What's your favorite music era? That's what I meant to ask you, or which era you think is the best music era, and not just what you like, but which you think is the best.
The best of all time?
Of all time, the best era.
Damn, that's fucking hard, man. I feel like it was the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it was the 90s. But, cause it was diverse. Like, there was people that were super heavy in the punk scene. There was that, like, rap, you know what I mean? There was electronic music, you know?
That makes
I guess
sense.
it's how it is now, but I guess it was the birth of music diversifying. I feel like now it's like super one thing, depending where you're at. You
That's
know?
true. That's very true. I didn't look at it that way, but that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. Because people used to listen. I mean, I personally think the '80s, but now you make me think about it. The '90s, because the '90s had from the '60s, '70s, '80s, and then but now it changed. I don't think that there's. I think there's more gimmick base than talent base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all about. It's all about like pissing someone off or.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like every people capitalize of being pissed off all day. That's what I'm bitching and complaining about this person, about that person. Oh, can you believe that this person went to this place? And oh, can you believe this person's with that person? Can you believe that you're talking about this shit? like yo, like
I have no.
But everyone to each their own, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone like wants to talk about whatever they want to talk about, you know, and that's why the internet is what it is. I prefer to indulge in the character and the soul of a human being. You know what I mean? Like what makes them them. You know, I understand there's usually three things, where they were born, how they grew up, and like where they came from, like in terms of like their parents and so on and so forth. Like it's interesting to hear stories and dynamics of the human and what they've gone through, stories that they want to share in terms
true.
personal growth and enlightenment rather than gossip. I'm not into gossip like that. Like,
Amen.
do I find it funny sometimes depending on like the
Oh, yeah.
situation? Yeah, like was I probably definitely like we were all invested in that rap beef. You know what I mean? That's basically gossip.
I would be lying if I say like it made me listen to hip hop, like, because I
Okay.
don't really listen to hip hop like that. Like, you know, somebody like Nas, if he drops something, I do like Kanye West, Pusha T, you know, Kendrick. I like J. Cole.
How'd you feel about him bowing out?
I think he made a smart decision because he looked at it like not in a fearful way. I think he's at a certain point in his life.
He's over that. He's like, I don't want to be in this shit. This is stupid.
Right, because he's at a certain point in his life and that takes energy. You know what I mean? Like you could see Drake doesn't have the energy for that.
That takes energy or that takes courage because, you know, people are going to talk shit. You know, people are going to be like, and people can say what they want about that statement about what I just said about courage, but I feel like it is courage because at the end of the day, like he was ready for the static, he was ready to like come with the bars and do all that shit, but then he thought about it and was like, "This is stupid."
Yeah, I think I don't look at it like he cowered out or anything like that. I think he made a decision like based on like, yo, let me look at what things I have that could make me look a certain way. You see, the problem with Drake is that he thinks he's so far ahead of everyone because he have writers, he have certain things that he do. I do believe.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that he thinks that he's so far ahead of himself, or is that what people put to him?
No, I like just from his character. I've watched him. I'm a big like I like podcasts and I like listening to certain things. And there's a show that he comes on. I think like LeBron James is always on it. Also, it's a podcast. I forgot the name of it, but they're always on it. And he's been on it a couple times. And the type of guy he come off to me as is someone that is not conscious of other people. I believe I've always seen him mention and attack like women. Like he've always like if he know he's your enemy, he'll go after your ex or something like that, or he'll bring the person's wife in an argument. Like he always go after that. I think that's like a weird thing about always like him and Kanye West started to beef. He started to mess with his ex-wife. You know what I mean?
Because they know, I mean, bro, let's be real about it too. Like, that's the shit that's gonna hurt you the most. Like, any man is gonna hurt them. Like, if they know that another man took his girl, whatever case it might be, it's gonna bother you. It's gonna bother the shit out of you. And it's also gonna be on a track. It's gonna bother the shit out of you even more. And then, like, if you think about war, right? Like, back in the day, motherfuckers took, like, their wives on some shit. And is that right? No, it's not right. But it's war.
But he creates these wars. It'd be little, like even if you have little beefs with someone, like there's a certain level of things. Like, yo, so he's like, all right, so Kendrick even asked him, what do you want me to do? Let's raise it up. And Kendrick, air him out. Same thing with Pusha T. They say, yo, you can't be Mr. Morale and you have these things in your closet. You know what I mean? You like, you know, you have a lot of young little girls with some questionable relationships that you have. I'm not saying he is, but it's questionable with, you know, hiding his family and things like that. Certain things he do and is very like questionable. I don't like a dude, like maybe I'm judging it from my point of view.
Because apparently, like, most of these girls, I think there is a video of it. There was like a girl that was like 17 on stage. Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, also, yo, let's be honest here, bro.
He's a celebrity also, yes, I know.
No, let's have a real conversation. Yo, I've been with women that are way older than me. No one said shit.
It's true.
No one said shit.
It's true. It's true.
I've been with women that, like, had a son my age, practically, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, no one said shit.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, shut the fuck up with the bullshit. Sometimes people like who they like. It could just be they're younger, they're older. Is it weird if they're like fucking like a little kid? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like if they're 21 or like
Oh, I wouldn't judge anyone based on that. Like that's their preference. That's not what I'm saying. But like there was some girl, I think she used to come on like Stranger Things, some Billy Bobby Brown or something like that.
Okay.
It's Lily Bobby Brown. I don't know what's her name. I heard he knew her since she was like a kid, and they would meet and text and some weird shit. I don't know.
Okay,
Like I wouldn't want my
videos that get passed around and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff, and Hollywood always have a lot of weirdos.
Mm.
There's a lot of weirdos in Hollywood, and these people,
Man,
yeah,
there's a lot of weirdos in life in general. Like, and that's what I mean. It's like, are people having a real conversation? I think that it's a matter of finding out that sometimes people got certain quirks, sometimes people like certain things, and does that make them wrong for liking a certain thing? Like, if it's harming you or your family, then yeah, I can understand that. And that's fucked up that, maybe he'll, like, do it in the rap shit. But that's the rap world, right? That's like, for me, even that is kind of corny.
mm-hmm.
Because it's like, motherfuckers aren't being original. But you gotta take it to a place of human survival. I think that if you're thinking about how Kendrick was raised and how he grew up, it is completely different how Drake was raised. And how
Definitely.
So they're both just living to the standards of what they have deemed for themselves. Who's to say who's wrong or who's right? That's up to the person. But I think it goes back to that whole idolization thing. It's like, why are we idolizing these two?
I agree. I mean, I like Kendrick for his poetic, the way he puts words and tell a story.
It's intricate.
Yeah, and I like that. I stopped liking Drake because I was tired of hearing about the ex that don't call and It was nice. Like there was a time when I was a big Drake fan. My name is Aubrey, like him. I'm like, yo, we both got the Aubrey, but it just became very, like, repetitive with him.
You're getting old, bro.
Yeah, and the same thing, and then the songs that you do have is, it just, I just was like, nah, I'm good.
But let me ask you, like, and be real, you out, summertime. You like to barbecue, right?
Of course.
Send the grill on, everything's chill, you got the drinks going. What music are you really playing? Are you really playing Kendrick Lamar?
I play Kendrick Lamar,
Okay.
Nas,
Okay.
Chronics.
Okay. Because some people say that.
Buju.
Because some people say all this shit right now in terms of because the rap beat right now, but I don't hear like people actually playing it on the streets.
Oh no, I love his music. I really, because for me, music like vibrates certain things inside of you. There's certain type of music that don't work well with everyone's soul. I love instrumental music. I love music that like kind of like raise a certain energy frequency inside of me. Like that's what I work out to.
Yeah.
That's one of my secrets.
It's inspiration.
And I'm dead focused. Like it's just me and I'm just like with this weights or whatever like that. But I'm good. But same thing with if I'm partying or whatever, I like reggae. I like reggae music.
I love reggae.
Yeah. Calypso. I like 80s, rock, 80s. I do karaoke, a lot of karaoke.
Yeah?
So
what songs do you karaoke?
Lionel Richie, anything Lionel Richie, Toto. I used to love doing Drake.
What makes
Going home.
You used to now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I still do. I'd still do it. It's one of my favorite. It's
What
one
song?
of my. Just hold on, we're going home. That song. I think that's the last song I've ever listened to him. I don't even know when. You know what I mean? That's the last song probably I ever listened for Drake.
Okay.
But that was one of my karaoke songs.
Dope. Who knows if you know that, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. I like.
That's the thing. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, no one really cares. You know why I say no one really cares, bro? I appreciate you, bro, because you care, but most people don't really care. I appreciate you because you took the time to even listen to my music.
Of course.
And say like that you think I'm dope, bro.
Yeah.
Like, most people
See somebody like that, I respect. I don't mean to cut you off, but somebody like that I respect because you make your stuff and you make it for you. You like, this sounds good, and I would love to share it with you. You know what I mean? And you're not taking it from anyone. You didn't steal nobody's shit or hold them to a contract and tell them that they have to give all their music to you. Shit, like, I don't know. You're a weird person when you start doing stuff like that.
It's true.
Yeah.
You're just
I don't know.
Keep your image.
Yeah, I think you should just love seeing other people. Like, he took a lot of reggae artists and steal their style. And as soon as I hear him start doing it, the wee, t, and all that shit, I'm like, nope. This dude is... You stick to your style. I used to like that Drake. They used to have those wonderful melodies and the music would like... You know what I mean? Nice flow. He would go with some crazy beats. I'm like, God damn, this kid is killing it. And I was like, damn, he will be one of the biggest. I called it, but he steered away from that. And he tried to be something that I don't think
He's not.
that he's not.
Right.
You don't have to bring out 1 million albums to prove that you're great. You could bring out 2. One even, Lauryn Hill. And you could be known as great for the rest of your life.
Legendary.
Right. But I think he watered down something, and then he realized, all right, I could put these guys in country because I have this big name. I could put these guys, take their shit. That's why the Weeknd dodged a bullet. That dude, we probably would have never enjoyed that dude music. We would have had to hear all the music featuring. He's featuring on it, but it's Drake's song.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Because that guy was good. The Weeknd, he's good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying too. Like, I think that the realm of this world, especially because that's still business, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very much take.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows if Drake's just being a businessman in that aspect?
I know he is.
Right.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, it leads back to the whole realm of how we should come together in society. So I think power and respect
Absolutely.
comes a long way in society. I just think that we're all being a little bit too distracted by many things, and it's like constantly leading into misdirection. So people aren't going to invest in asking deeper questions within their own culture, within their own frame of mind, and how they're gonna view society and come together for real, revolutionize for real.
I would love to witness that, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'd be dead before.
Right.
I just believe so because, like, the news and things like that is so easily to divide us. Like, I was able to get away from it, but I think there's a certain cutoff point where people of a certain age, they're never gonna give it up. Like my mom's generation, she'll watch the news. Her generation forever. They trusted everything that
Everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the generation like was my grandmother is when they first started to like mess with people and their identities and you know what I mean, getting them to work hard more than they should and things like that. And then she taught her daughter or her son, and then it's like that generation, and it's our generation now. I mean, in the next generation, my generation and the generation right before us is fucking up the kids because they're protecting them too much.
They are, and it kind of leaves that that goes back into the whole comfortability. Sometimes when people are too comfortable, they don't
Progress.
They don't progress. They don't try as hard.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get that hunger. You know, sometimes you gotta get that hunger inside you to really understand things differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be more inclined to respect other people, and also admire hard work, because hard work really takes a lot of dedication and time, and a lot of lot of goals not seen,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be very understanding of that and keep going and keep pushing.
No matter what accomplishments someone have academically, ask them if they do some form of workout. Whether it's run, I play tennis, I play basketball,
Okay.
something. I trust someone that do something like that. Because if you just use just that, and I don't really consider anyone genius just because even if you go to college at 12 or 13, right? I believe that your parents gave you a great opportunity, and they're the true genius, to be honest with you.
Facts.
And not that I believe in genius. I'm just saying if you want to throw that word around. Because those kids that go to college at like 12, 13, 14, put them in the jungle and tell them use all of that books. Survive. Oh, the first night they probably did.
Yeah.
But that kid from the jungle that's out there,
We'll survive.
they'll survive.
And people don't like
Yeah.
that argument, and I don't understand why they don't. Because if the power would just shut off, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think
What are you doing? If the power, imagine if the power shut off for a month.
Yeah.
A month. Imagine how the streets would be like.
Yeah. Phew. I think, I don't know.
What do you think? Like after like 2 weeks, what do you think?
I think after 3 days we'll start seeing chaos. I'm serious. I think after 3 days.
And
Because
there's no one to televise it.
because a lot of people, they'll use their phone
Right. That shit.
first and it'll go fast because they'll think, I'm going to get this shit. The lights is going to come on. It always comes back on. So they'll use it.
And then
Or they
go
wait
back.
until it's like 10%. They're like, oh shit, it's been day 3 and this shit ain't coming on. I'm going crazy. And it's done. It's done. Chaos.
Chaos.
I think 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, I'm serious. I think
Not even 2 weeks.
not even. I think 2 weeks is when it really is.
It's like
You're seeing fires, like things are being burned down. Yeah, but I think the nuts. 3 days.
what happens a year.
A year, I think there's a lot of blood on people's hands. And because the light or water isn't on, they can't even wash it off. I'm serious, like that.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's fucking hilarious.
I would love to think, because here's the thing. They set it up. They have so many things about survival and shows and things like that. So we think the most negative things. But I would wish and hope that human beings say, yo, let's figure out something and work together.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah.
Greed, ego,
Yeah.
right? People are always gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Someone has more or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It would have to come to a place where people will relinquish their pride.
You think there's other worlds?
Yeah,
Where?
far away. You mean like when you say worlds, you mean like other worlds that have living people, right?
Yeah.
Or like living beings.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, definitely. It's the universe is so huge for it not to be. But
I said that same, yeah.
I also found out in astronomy that it's actually very difficult for a planet to have life. So they have to be in the Goldilocks zone.
I know,
is
but-
a certain distance away from the sun, and the sun has to be a certain size. Can't be too big, can't be too small. That's what they say, right? They say a lot of shit. Who knows?
But I don't believe that we have a left Earth's atmosphere. I don't believe so.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I know the sun and the moon is within our atmosphere. And even if you try to even go close to the sun, you'll burn up. There's so many radiation layers. God made it that way. It's so we don't leave this. Our creator, God, whatever you want to call, but I don't believe we could leave it. I believe there's other ways that we could maybe access different planes and different worlds, but not through outer space. It's not, I don't believe it's upwards,
Through
like
the
how they
sea?
say. Even the sea. Even Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. How do you
Yeah,
feel about
yeah.
Antarctica?
I think it's very plain in sight, the fact that so many countries form a
Oh,
treaty
right.
to
Yes.
not let any civilian.
And you know who else?
Who?
A very, very rich family.
The Rothschilds.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the one that created the whole NASA and what Disney.
You know what NASA means? In Hebrew?
I believe I heard it before, but I can't remember.
Deceive.
Huh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I don't believe in anything NASA. I believe they're $25 billion industry that sucker people because they make movies and stuff like that. There's a lot of movies and shows that need NASA's approval so that they could make it. They make you think it's this, like Star Trek type of thing. And I don't believe nobody. I believe the radiation that's out there, even all those things that you see crawling on those planets, I believe that's all bullshit.
Crawling on what?
Those planets,
Mm-hmm.
nothing could get out of our atmosphere. I believe it'll crush, destroy, burn away. It's designed that way. You know what I mean? There's this one where this guy, he jumped out of a plane for like Red Bull.
Yes,
If you notice, he stopped.
They didn't go all the way.
I know, but they couldn't.
Yeah, they can.
There's a certain part of our atmosphere that we're not meant to. It's just how it is.
Right.
You could.
Even Tesla, right?
Yeah.
Then they go up to a certain point.
They used to shoot rockets to it, and guess what, the name of the operation while they shooting the rockets. Guess what it's called? Operation Fishbowl. It's like
Because as in we're in a fishbowl.
we're in a dome. I believe so. We're in a dome.
Dome.
Yeah, like a dome, like not a dome, like it's a dome that, and there's a certain things that we can't explain that God created that if we leave out of it, we'll burn up and die.
What makes you feel that way?
It's just every picture of every space and everything dealing with space is CGI. If you ever could show me one
Right, I see what you're saying.
that is not CGI, when people say they see planets, it's always some dwindling light that we see so far away. There's nothing that we could describe or tell you really what it is.
Right, like how was Galileo in those times able to see Jupiter and say, oh, this is look at the rings around,
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all bullshit.
Ah.
Yeah. And those are all videos, you know what I mean, they made for us so that they could get that, so they could sell it.
Perception.
Yeah.
Perception is everything.
Yeah.
It is true. That's why but then that's another thing, right? I spoke about this before, right? We used to all think that it was the geocentric model, which was everything revolving around the Earth. But then Copernicus found out that it's the heliocentric model, which is everything revolves around the sun. But that shook up the scientific world, and perception and the way we view things.
They try to make it
Always.
so complicated and very crazy, like how fast we're moving out of space, yet we see the same star system every single year, the exact same place. I don't believe we're moving. What we're seeing...
Like, you don't think we're expanding?
No. I don't believe we're moving like the way they're saying. You know what I mean? I believe the sun and the moon, they make their passage. I believe we're still. Just the eyes. Just
so you don't think we're orbiting around the sun?
No.
Really?
I think the sun is something that God created for us. There's a reason why in the night, once it get night, our melatonin go down. God have created this system for us. The sun, if you catch sun early, the earliest possible in the morning when you catch sun, it gives you the best energy, right? It's for us to wake up. And I believe that's all the time, just rotating.
Ebb and flow.
Yeah. And it's not us that's moving. And they made up everything possible to to be able to control us in so many ways. You know what I mean? Give money to stupid causes. And our quality of life, especially in America, is super poor compared to the amount of money people like. You work, you pay taxes.
Right.
You pay taxes every time you buy something. How is that? Just
Right.
one of us, the amount of money we're supplying to governments to just
Do what with it?
to lie to us, to buy more. These politicians able to buy stocks and shit like that and get away with it, make
And
laws
be set
and
for
rules.
life,
Yeah,
their kids be set for life.
and they're better than us, and we're stupid. We really because we have this idea that we vote for them.
Right.
Nah, man, them dudes already set up. Yo, I remember like
they're the only ones to vote for.
I remember like I was telling one of my friend, watch next they're gonna have a black president and a female president. Here comes Obama and Hillary Clinton. They want to test how racist you are, or how sexist you are. Just a game. Let's just fuck around with them. We already know who won.
Right.
You know what I mean? They already got these ideas.
I think it's all perception, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just they're trying to see which side will gain more votes, and then they'll just like, all right, it's gonna be this guy.
When I heard about, I don't mean to cut you off, but when I heard about the Electoral College, I was like, it was over for me. When I had someone explain it to me, I was like, nope.
Well, the Electoral College is interesting, right? Because what the fuck does that even mean? No, like let's break it down. I'm gonna Google it right now.
It's crazy.
Electoral College definition. It's in Spanish, huh? The Electoral College is not a physical place. It's a process which includes the selection of electors, meeting of electors who cast votes for the president and vice president. So it's like all of our votes is like for what?
Consideration.
Yeah, it's just consideration. You know what? Majority of these people in America think this, but you know what? We think this.
Yeah. It's because what they do, they create a certain type of way for us to be battling each other. You know what I mean? We only have two choices. I think if they allow the people to elect someone, I think it'll be different.
Sorry, bro.
You good, brother.
That's the shit.
Yeah.
You know how it is, bro.
Yeah, they give us the idea, the perception of choice. Like, I hate it when idiots start, you have an iPhone, you have a Galaxy, and they battle. Bro, you only have two choices. And that's the idea of it. If they told you could get any phone from anywhere in any part of the world, you know how many phone companies that'll kill these phones. Sony, I used to love my Sony. Sony was one of the first phones with a battery. It'll be like days. I remember sometimes a week. I just wanted to see how long it'll last while I'm using it. Waterproof, and these phones started to now copy all of the fingerprints on them. I used to do all that shit with Sony, and they took that away. They took away BlackBerry. Everything now is just two choices.
Right.
If you have just two choices, you don't really have that much. You know what I mean? Same thing with your political parties. If they said, yo, let's have another guy that don't believe in some of the things I believe, but he have his, you know what I mean? He have certain ideas. Let's listen to him also. You have to be a Democrat, and these are the things you stand for.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a Republican. These are the things you stand for. You can't stand for something else other than them.
It's never just about the people.
Right. It's about themselves. Is he likable and all that shit? Is she likable? And it's a bunch of corrupt motherfuckers.
You want more water?
Yes, please.
What is gonna be the future besides what it is already? You know what I mean by that? People want to say, oh, like how we were talking about before. It was better before. It was better before. Was it though? The only thing that's different now is technology keeps on advancing.
I don't really like electric cars though. I really don't.
You don't fuck with the Tesla truck.
Yeah,
right?
I do like that truck.
You do like that truck?
I would if I
thank you, bro.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what's funny? A lot of people keep telling me I fuck with it too. Like a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, it's ugly, it's ugly."
Nah, that shit looks
I think
sick.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It looks futuristic.
Yeah.
It's different. Right?
The only thing though, I don't really like electric cars because it caused a lot of problems for a lot of people around the world.
What do you mean?
Even the phones in the battery in our phones, and it's a lot of kids
Cobalt?
it's a lot of kids that mine it, and it takes so much energy also to convert it, and with the batteries and everything like that. A lot of people don't understand. If the electricity or something go out, how screwed we are. But there's other ways that we can make cars. There's people that try to introduce water cars but got killed.
Yeah, it got killed.
But gas, you could always trust that. But that electricity,
That's the money.
and I think electric cars, sooner or later, I heard this before, but it'll be able to lock you and bring you to a police station in your own car.
That's crazy.
And I think when we die officially as a human race, because I believe as human beings we have
You think
many.
that's gonna happen?
Yeah, just when we die officially as human race is whenever the first humans start to put chips in their brain.
Yeah, that happened already.
Then the death is already started. Because if anybody else, if we do that as a society, we're doomed.
It's gonna happen.
And I think we're doomed.
It's gonna happen because that shit is gonna be making people so much more advanced that they're gonna be so much further in society that people are gonna be like, "Oh, I need that."
I think we're gonna be dead from there. Like human beings, we don't die once. That's when we go in the grave. There's certain time in our life when we die because we let certain things rule us. And we know what it is and we allow it to still control us. That's death.
Right.
But then there's the last death when you go into the earth. But as a human race, if we do that, like cloning, that's death to society. You know what I mean? Things with less unnatural to our society, once you start including it in the society with the idea of acceptance and things like that. Like anytime you start to mess with kids and that transgender thing,
Right.
that's death to society. Those are things that it's like turning off the cycle to say like, okay, we're heading towards death. If we fix it, we go in, you know what I mean? But those are all like deadly things. Those are sins of our society. Like
Right.
you can't let kids be okay with changing that aspect of them unless they're damaged in a way that because you're responsible for it, because you could damage your kids
Psyche.
yeah
Their ability to accept, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's a lot about accepting the natural order of things.
mm-hmm.
There's certain people that are just stronger than you are.
Mm-hmm.
You could work out, get stronger, but then there's always gonna be someone stronger.
Oh yeah, of course.
And there's always gonna be sometimes it's genetics, sometimes it's hard work and will, sometimes it's time difference, like all these things. But you gotta accept your accept who you are
Mm-hmm.
naturally. How you came to this earth. I don't think it's up to anyone to decide, oh, I'm this. No, you just are that.
Yeah. And I think it's just there is this part of society that could make you feel like you're accepted someplace, because like certain type of shit sticks together. You know what I mean? It's just some things, like some people a lot of people like mostly like women would more be acceptant of like the transgender thing. Like women are mostly acceptant of it.
Yeah.
They're more like whatever. I don't know why, but they are. I don't believe in it. I think it's an unnatural thing. I think it could fuck society up. I always ask people like, okay, let's say if that problem we was to make that we don't make it a problem. We include that and make we what's the word? We put that into our society all around the world.
Right.
Everywhere in the world, we could change kids. Kids could change. Kids could identify. Is that a good or bad for society? Ask yourself that, right? Now, if we eliminate that bullshit and say we don't take that, it's not in our society, would that help or hurt society?
Hinder, right? Yeah.
And that's the question you gotta ask. That's
Yeah.
how you know if something is good or bad for society.
And also not even only good or bad, but true.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is bullshit. It's like, you could change as many parts of yourself as you want, but you're still gonna be who you are.
Yeah, that's a craziness. That's like a lot of people fear speaking the truth, because they feel like they got a certain brand. I don't. I'd rather be realistic, and I rather people like me that's real.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
Right. Oh shit.
Yeah.
My camera died, but the audio still is going.
Yeah.
I definitely want to have you back on the podcast.
Of course, my brother.
But let me ask you, do you have any question for me?
It's good seeing you. I always think, like people, like when you meet people and you have a certain connection, and you could be comfortable. You could talk about anything with them and whatever. I think you keep those people close and take and follow advice.
Yeah. No,
Both ways,
no,
for real.
Sure. No,
Yeah.
for sure, man. No,
You
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
'cause there's a lot of stuff that you taught me too, and like you keep on saying, hey, you should do this,
yeah.
and I want to keep that in mind, man, because I know I got so much things I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm always just like on go. I'm exhausted today.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. There's few people in this planet that you'll meet and you'll have a certain connection with. You know what I mean? That you're comfortable. You could be cool. You could tell them something and they respect you in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't believe, like, let me tell you something. Let's say if you told me a secret today,
Mm-hmm.
and you and me tomorrow we enemies, I'd never ever reveal that.
It stays with you, yeah.
That doesn't change because now we're enemies. I live by that. I had many people in my lifetime that have told me secrets that I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't want to hear that shit. But even if we're not cool anymore, and I noticed some people, oh my God, I told them, they think that I would,
Yeah, but you're not.
but that's not my style. I think like that's one of the most disgusting traits of some human beings. Like for someone to tell you a secret, I don't care. I'd never throw it back in someone's face. I don't believe in that, or ever make them feel as though like, like they don't need to trust me with that. I don't believe in that. I think like you honor that to your debt. If somebody give you a secret.
So what's the question?
Oh, what's question? What question?
I said, do you have a question?
Oh, question. Yes. I do have a question for you. As a man, what do you do for your mental health to keep yourself in
I go to the gym, bro. I go to the gym. I eat right.
Good.
I really don't. I drink, but I don't. I drink like that. I drank last night because I was having mad fun. I was like, but if I'm not, if it's another day, water. I smoke weed, but a little bit of weed. Like I'm not. I don't like to be super, super, super blasted. I just like to be
I know what you
right
mean.
there, like right there, and I have a lot of energy, so I'm never taking away from what I have to do. It's just a matter of finding your own peace. I feel like decisions as a man that I've learned is I want to make decisions based out of choosing things that is not gonna have me have gray hairs. Like in my early 30s, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's from staying up late.
Yeah, no, but not in the aspect. Even if I do end up having gray hair soon, but in the terms of stress.
Okay.
You know, in terms of stress, in terms of, I don't want to make decisions based out of stress. I want to make decisions based out of creativity, purpose, drive, pursuit, focus. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to make my decisions based out of. I don't want to be locked in a situation thinking that, okay, I have to do this.
Mm,
I want to do it.
I know what you mean.
I want to do it. That's what I want. Like, I want to live life like I want to live life. I want to do it.
Same,
You know?
same. I know we all aspire to do that, but it's the climb. I believe like life is like a mountain, and success is also like a mountain. And as you climb it, you can never judge anyone where they are.
Yeah.
The minute you judge everyone, you're not focusing on yourself, right? So, and one move could change you from falling off the mountain, and one move could change someone and make them almost at the top of the mountain.
That's so true.
Yeah, so we gotta be very careful of how we measure each other, and just focus on us and anything we could do to say, hey, do this better, do this better.
I like that.
Yeah, we could help each other, and you'll be surprised, even if you show someone something, and people fear of this, and that person shoot up and look how far you are. If they're within a good person, they'll show you how to get on their level, and if not, you still learn a lesson, no matter what. But even if you help someone and they become even more successful than you, don't look at it like you're a sucker or anything like that. Learn from it. It's whatever it is that is the lesson for you, because I can't answer that for, you know what I mean? You just let it learn for you, and just don't judge it like, oh man, this person got one. No. The minute you start looking at that, you're a selfish motherfucker. It's not about you all the time.
Yeah. What's that thing people say? Sometimes people think that the movies are around them.
Yeah.
Like, they're the
It's
star.
true.
They're the star of their own movie.
Yeah. I mean, when you're by yourself, you're supposed to think you are. But when you're in reality, it's a different story. You're supposed to think of it, because if you don't think of yourself, number one, you can't love unless you know how to love yourself first. What is it that I like? What is it that I wouldn't like? Let me see how I treat people. You know what I mean? If I don't value people, it's because I don't really value myself. And I'm just like putting it on to somebody else. And cycle continues.
You said the camera's on, but yeah.
No. I was thinking that's a window for a second. Like my
It
mind.
looks like it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. But all right, bet. And where can the people find you, bro?
Top Agent King on Instagram.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I have. I don't have
That's it.
anything else. I don't have any.
So yeah, thank you for coming through, bro.
A go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.